What's going on, guys? It's Eric from Yoka Her Skateboards once again at our TF. Me and Enzo call it the training facility, if you will. We don't really call it that, but I just thought I would say it. But anyways, let's get to the topic. So today we're going to be going through one of our longboards. So we do have a couple different options on our website. Today we're going to be looking at our standard drop through longboard. So we'll go through all of the components on the board. We've already got it all gripped up, which all of our boards will come gripped up. All of our longboards, cruisers, our traditional boards, you can buy additional grip or have us grip them for you. But all of our completes as traditional boards will come gripped up as well. So we already got it cool gripped up. We got the Yoka Her logo showing. We got the deck. So this is our Horizon series. We also have kind of like a nighttime series as well too. So maybe you're more of a night owl and that's your kind of deal. But since we thought it's summertime, we're going with the sun. Because as you can see, the sun's already out and it's gonna be a hot one today. So in this video, we're gonna go, I've taken the liberty of already deconstructed the truck. So we're gonna go over all of the materials, all of the parts, what their names are, and I'll show you how to properly adjust it and set it up. Just in case if you get our board and you want the trucks to be a little bit more loose or a little tight, I'll show you how to fine tune it so you can kind of get on your way and start learning the basics. Or if you already have experience, you'll have your preferences, so you'll already be jamming. So yeah, today we're gonna be talking about the longboards, just the components. But if you're in the video this far, stay tuned till the end. We have a real surprise we're gonna do in real time for you guys. So, all right, without further ado, I'm gonna jump into this and I'll show you everything needed as well. Like we, kind of a shout out to our Yoka Her Y tool. So this tool is gonna be very crucial. I was able to deconstruct it. Pretty much you can build a whole board with this. The only thing you're missing would be like a sharp edge, like a razor blade or a knife for the grip tape. But don't worry, we already got that covered. Everything else, this is the tool. So let's get into it. All right, so let's get down to business right here. So we have the truck deconstructed. So let's go over all the parts. So right here, this is called the base plate. So this is gonna be on, no matter if it's a longboard, a cruiser, if you're on a skateboard that has a truck, you have a base plate. So this is our base plate right here. And it has the inverted kingpin, which we'll go over after once it's all assembled, and I'll tell you the benefits for it. But base plate, pretty simple. This is where the truck, the hanger is gonna mount onto. There's a kingpin. And we have this right here, which is a pivot cup. So this is where the truck's gonna lock in. So right there's a very important piece. This is what's gonna allow your truck to move side to side. In return, that's how you're gonna be turning. So the pivot cup, base plate, and then right here, we have our riser. So the riser is another crucial point. Looks like a piece of plastic that's kind of, materialed out. It's got some holes in it. But this is also a very important piece. Once you have the riser, you put the base plate on top, and so it's going to give you clearance on your board, so you're not going to get any wheel bite. We also do offer them for regular skateboards as well. Risers are kind of coming back with traditional skateboards, but yeah, it's basically for precautionary, so you don't get wheel bite. And what wheel bite is when the wheel touches your deck, and that friction will cause you to stop, or it'll just send you off the board. And then right here, so this is another component of the truck. So these are our bushings. So we have a bottom bushing right here, and so with the bottom bushing, you have a spacer or washer that goes to the bottom. The top of the bushing is right here. So this is going to ease the tension and kind of make it a little tighter on the kingpin, allowing you to also turn. It kind of is like another little helpful thing to the pivot cup. And you can always tell the difference between them. The one that kind of looks a little like kind of cut in half and almost like a little pyramid shape, that's going to be your top one. This one's going to be your bottom one. So the bottom one's going to be a lot thicker. They're both going to have the washer attached. You can take those off, but in my experience, I would keep them on there. I've never been a person to take off the washers. I've always keep them pretty traditional. So this, right here, this is the kingpin. So the kingpin is in any truck. It doesn't matter if it's a longboard, cruiser, the kingpin will be in there. So this is pretty much like the heart and soul of the truck. That's what I've always thought. So the kingpin goes through, and it's gonna help us assemble everything, as well as stabilize the hanger once it's on there. And we'll get into it because you're going to need the bushings as well. So we'll take the kingpin out, and then kingpin nut. So this is going to secure it at the end. And then we have our Yokohama hardware. So this is traditional Phillips head hardware. I'm a big fan of the Phillips. Some people like the Allen, but I've always used Phillips. That's what we're going with today. And then last but not least, we have our hanger. So here's our truck. We've got the polished silver. We have our Yokohama punked wheels right here with our Yokohama bearings. There's a lot of different things to choose from. So if you see this board and you say, oh man, I would love that if it had red wheels, totally customizable on the website. We've gone through and done videos how to maintain bearings, how to set them up onto the truck. So you can check those if you want to see how the bearings are mounted and stuff. We can go through that, or maybe at the end of this video, if we have time, I can just do one real quick. It's a very simple process. I used to think it was kind of harder if you didn't have a bearing press. I've learned a couple of tricks and tips along the way from being in like the skate world so long that I can show you how to do it with no tools necessary other than the Y tool. And then that's going to be the construction of our truck, and then we can do another walkthrough on our board. So here it is. We got the nice beach scene, perfect for summer. You know, this is the time you see most longboards out. We don't live too far from the beach, but if we were to go to the beach right now, I'd guess that we'd probably, within the first hour, probably see at least 20 to 30 longboards. People love longboarding. As you know, I kind of got into it within the last year, just messing around with it because I always skate a traditional board. But after messing around with the longboards and the cruisers, super fun, and I have one in my car at all times. So it's really cool. It's another aspect of skateboarding, and it's kind of like a little bit, there is a technical aspect, don't get me wrong, because there's guys that can bomb hills, do these crazy power slides, but I was used to just doing tricks and kind of fine-tuning all that stuff. But when I get on a longboard or a cruiser, it's like a lot of freedom. No rules, do whatever you want to do, and it's a real cool, smooth ride. So yeah, we've gone through this board already, and the thing you might want to check out, you've seen us show other longboards and cruisers. This one is going to be our traditional mounted truck. So it's not going to be a drop through where the truck will be coming through the top. This is traditional. The kingpin is facing outwards. That's kind of pretty much a standard with longboards. So this one's going to be mounted just like a traditional board. So we don't have the drop through. We've done videos on the drop through where it's a little bit different of a process of how you're mounting it. But this one, we're going to mount it just like it were to be a regular board. And so the advantages on this, I would say, maybe a little bit more convenient, a little bit more user-friendly. The drop through, it's going to give you a better turning radius, and you're able to make a lot more fine-tuned like carves, and that's where the big dogs are at with kind of the real longboarding community and common hills. Me, this is perfect for me. I'm not at that echelon yet, but they are still fun to ride. And like we said before, already got it all gripped up. And what I love about these boards is the concave. So the concave is going to be kind of the rails of the board, how they come up. And when you stand on this board, it kind of locks it in. That's what I felt. And my foot's not too big, so if you have a larger foot, this would be the way to go if you're learning how to skateboard or you want to get back into it. It's a huge surface area. For someone like me, my shoe size not that big, but it feels locked in and it doesn't feel overpowering when I'm riding it. So in the next clip, I'm going to go ahead and mount the truck onto the board, and we're going to go through all of that kind of the steps, and we'll make it as easy as possible. And like I said, stay tuned till the end of the video. We have something really fun planned for you guys. And as well as if you have any comments or questions, maybe something that you might want to see me go into more detail, go ahead and drop it below and we'll take care of it. We'll make maybe even a personalized video for you showing it. And yeah, let's get into the next clip. Alright, so let's get into mounting the truck. So we went all over the components. Now I'm going to show you how to properly place it. So today we're going to be using our Yokohama Y tool. These also come in a bunch of colors. I got the pink one in the car. Enzo's got his blue one. Very cool to have. I'd say a necessity to any skateboarder. You're going to want to have a tool with you. Because sometimes, say if you forget your board in the car, your trucks are going to feel real squishy, and you might want to adjust. If you don't have a tool, you're kind of out of luck, and it's going to be a little bit more difficult, might hinder the sesh. But regardless, that's enough about the tool. It's got everything on there. We'll go through it, as well as we got the Phillips screwdriver, and we have the Allen wrench head right there. So that pops out right there. You just press right here, releases, so it keeps everything intact. You're not going to lose it. So all right, let's get to the base plate. Base plate, talked about it, so we're going to mount that. But before the base plate, we're going to go with our riser pad. So if you come in here, we can go ahead and line up the holes. So how this is, you can mount it a couple different ways depending on what kind of deck or where your board is gonna, like the wheelbase is set up. But for this one, pretty standard. So what I'm gonna do is the second hole right there, I'm gonna line that up on each side, and then you'll see that it'll line up right there. So we're gonna use this second hole. And then we got our hardware right here. Extra long hardware. We don't want it to be too loose, don't want it to be massive where you're gonna have a lot of overhang. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flip the board, and then it's pretty much just line the holes, and we're gonna lock this in right there. So we're gonna do that with all four. So as I have that in there, I'm holding it, and then just kind of guide through the holes. We're gonna hold right there. I should have probably got the hardware, the nuts off the bolts, but hey, it's all right. We're doing it in real time. You know how we do it. Nothing's fabricated here, except for the editing, because we like to make it look like we go into time. I don't know, fast forward and stuff like that. You know what I mean. I'm not the editing guy. That's Enzo's department. I'm the guy that's just in front of the camera, trying to skate, trying to help you guys as much as I can too. So all right. So as I have them all in there, I'm gonna do my best to kind of get a finger on each one, so when I flip it over, there we go, we're gonna have that. So those are gonna be guiding us, and like I said, it's an inverted kingpin, so the kingpin's been going out that way. So a guide is kingpins on the outside, so we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna have it symmetrical with this side as well. So what I'm gonna do, line up the holes, that second hole right there, place it on there, perfect. And so now what I'm going to do is just to lock this in place so I don't have to hold it, I'm going to just hand tighten the little nut on there. And it's going to look loose, but we'll get that all dialed in afterwards. Actually, I totally messed up. Let me take this off. We'll do this in real time. I forgot that I don't have the kingpin in there. So let me go ahead and take that off. Sorry guys. So kingpin, same kind of deal. There's going to be a hole that's slanted right there, and you're just going to put it in there. There we go. Kingpin's in. Oh, almost forgot that. I got a little nervous. I was like, wait a minute, this isn't looking right. So the kingpin's going to hang right here, but it's not going to look like that much longer once we get the bushings and everything. So let's go ahead and mount this. Yep, and we're killing time right here. So I hope everybody's having a good summer break from school, or if you're an adult, just enjoying summer on the weekends. This heat's kind of getting after us lately out here in California. But I don't know, once winter comes around, it gets cold. I miss this stuff, so I guess I gotta take advantage of it. All right, so we got it all mounted. It's not going anywhere. So next, I'm gonna push the kingpin, and so right here, we're gonna have no place. I'm gonna just put my finger there. Like I said, bottom bushing right there. So it's got the washer bushing. It's gonna be the larger one. You're gonna want it with the washer face down. So we're gonna slide that on there. And then next is we're gonna be putting the kingpin through the hanger right here. So what we're gonna do is, see that little notch right there at the end? We're gonna put that into the pivot cup. So go ahead and get that in there, and it should fit perfectly. They're all sized for these trucks and this board. So, and then I'm gonna push the kingpin through. You just kind of have to finesse it a little bit, because now we're dealing with a little bit of tension. So if you don't get on the first try, totally fine. But let me see. There we go. Just kind of make your adjustments as you go. And this is all brand new stuff, so we don't have it broken in, you know, it hasn't been ridden at all. So you're gonna wanna make sure where my finger's at right here, I'm still pushing the kingpin, so we're gonna get the top bushing. So you're gonna want the washer on the top rather than the larger one, you want the washer at the bottom. So pretty much you want the contact point of the bushing onto the inside and the outside of this kind of kingpin ring right here. So we'll do that. And then we're gonna go ahead and put the kingpin nut. So we're gonna put that on there. We're gonna tighten it up, just a little hand tight. And then, so I'm still holding the back end of the kingpin. And what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna torque it down to where that kingpin's gonna be locked in. It's not gonna go anywhere. So give it a more. And as you can come see over here on this side, Enzo, kingpin's not going anywhere. No more play. We got the bushing in, the bottom one, the top one, and now all we have to do is, like what we've done with regular skateboards, we're gonna go ahead and torque these up a bit and get it all dialed in. So like I said, we're using Phillips hardware. I'm gonna use the Phillips head, and this one's pretty easy for everybody. Just what I do is hold the Phillips, and then I use the Yokohama Y tool, and then we have the hardware portion right there. And so what I'm going to do is just spin this. Some people like to spin the little screwdriver part. It's all preference. I always just do it like this. And so as I'm doing it, I'm not going to go left, right on them. I'll tell you why in a second. So I started with the bottom right for me. And then, so I'm going to go diagonal on this one right here, because it seems like it was something that I was always told, if you go straight across, it's not going to set right, or you can get pressure cracks in the wood. Maybe it's just a superstition, but that's just how I do it. Yeah, there's a lot of weird quirks and kind of madness with skateboarding that skateboarders have, so. Just go ahead and get on this side real quick. Sorry guys. Actually on this one I'm gonna have to use the screwdriver side and just hold this one in place, just how the angle is, but not a big deal. You guys will figure it out. I have faith in all of you that watch and support us. And thanks again for the continued support. It means a lot to us. These videos are fun. We've been doing them for how many years now? Like 3, 4 now? It's been a while. 3, 4 years. It's pretty amazing that I've been able to continue to do this. And it's only because of you guys, you know. Alright. Now I'm gonna go to this one. Then home stretch after this. Then I think we might have time I can take apart a wheel real quick, and we'll get into that after we get everything all mounted in. Alright, last one, this one. It's cool. I'm probably gonna do fast forwarding. Oh, okay. Probably close up on one click at each finger. There we go. And there it is. We've disassembled the truck, and we've assembled the truck and mounted it. And yeah, we got the brand new board set up. So doesn't get much better than that. Summertime, new cruiser, very fun. So that's kind of the inner workings on how to mount it. But like I said before, if we had time, and I think we got time, we're gonna go ahead and take apart a wheel real quick, and I'll show you the components of that. I'll do that in real time, real quick. So using the Y tool again, and that I just dropped, you can see the durability on it. It's not gonna break. All right, so the wheel is gonna have a spacer. I think I dropped the other one. Well, 2 spacers, and then it's gonna have the bearings inside. So to take the bearings out, you can kind of use this tip part and just kind of pop it out like that. It's kind of cool. It shows the core of our wheel, so it's going to be a long-lasting wheel. You're not going to break that hub just because how much surface area and everything on the wheel. Good long-lasting wheel. So we got our bearings, and if you're wondering how to set up one of these, so you're going to grab a spacer. You're going to have one on the inside at all times. And what I like to do is I'll put 2 bearings. Doesn't matter which side they're on. Sometimes like I like to have them kind of facing a certain way depending on if there's a graphic on it, but these ones are like a pretty symmetrical. So what I'm gonna do is just place down and push. So that's gonna lock it in there. Place down and push, just flip. And then, so we still have our spacer on there. So we're good to put that in there. So then we're gonna put the spacer on the inside right here. Tighten it up. So you don't need a bearing press at all. It was a trick that, dude, I don't even know who taught me it. It's been a long time, but I've always used it. When I used to work at a skate shop, we had a bearing press where you kind of put in a little machine, crank it, and it would get in there. But this is a crucial point right here. So I'm gonna torque this up kind of tight to where you're not gonna move it at first. And you're gonna be like, well, that's no good. But the idea is you're gonna wanna get that bearing to be pressed in as much as you can. So it's just secure, you're not gonna have any issues. And then I'm gonna go ahead and give it maybe 2 turns. You don't want too much play on them. That seems just about right to me. You want but a little bit, and then we got the roll on. So that was how to disassemble the wheel, put it back on there. Get any questions about how bearings work or how they're mounted, that's how they're mounted. And obviously we've done videos on grip tape. Grip tape on these boards will come standard, so you don't have to worry about it. If you are pretty creative and you just want the deck, you can ask for it not to be gripped if you want to do your own custom. But I think this one came out pretty good. I think Enzo did this one, so yep. Can't go wrong with this. We got like the city skyline, we got our logo, everything in there. So yeah, that's gonna be it. That's the deep dive on the assembly, the parts of a longboard, and it kind of the rules apply to cruisers and traditional skateboards. The only kind of difference is that we're working with riser pads, and we have that inverted kingpin for kind of better radius, better turn, stuff like that. So yep, there you have it.